Hey there, kings and queens. Welcome back to another episode of Faith Helps Podcast. And I'm your host, Dr. Diamond Ruth. And I'm here with a lovely human being, a phenomenal person, Candice Chung, also known as Candino.
Hey.
Listen, you guys do not know the struggle that we have gone through to get this recording, this episode to you. And because it has been such a struggle, we know that there is something that you need to hear. There is something that is going to bless you, help you heal, or challenge you in some way and inspire you in some way. Because the hurdles we had to jump through were no mistake.
3 different platforms. We tried things that we didn't think we're going to have problems with, ended up having problems. But you know what? We're making it work. We're making it happen.
We're making it happen. So let's just go ahead and start off with, first off, I'm sorry, I have to start with giving you your flowers, Candice. Thank you so much for the patience you have had with this process. I've never seen so much difficulty ever in recording. I'm so grateful that you have been so patient, so supportive. I need you guys, I'm going to link all of her info below the details. Go to support her, go learn from her and grow from her, because she is such a kind and genuine spirit, and I have so much love for you, girl.
Oh, no. Listen, it happens to the best of us, and I know that if there is interference, there is a reason for it, and nothing worth having honestly comes easy. It might be simple, but it's not always easy. So thank you for having me. I appreciate everybody that's in your community that's tuning in to watch, and yeah, I'm grateful to be here.
Yes. So let's start off with just how did I even come across you? So I was listening to Pastor SJR.
Crazy, legendary, yo. Let's do it.
And mind you guys, I've listened to Pastor, for those of you who don't know who SJR is Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts. And she was responding to call-ins, and Candice was one of the people who called in. And something just drew me to her. And I was like, let me look up who this person is. Who is this Keep It Candid? Who is this Candice? Who is this Candino? Look her up. Fell in love with her content. She has a podcast herself called Keep It Candid. And it is on YouTube. I think, are you on Spotify as well?
I need to be. No, I am on YouTube, but I need my voice to be on the audios as well. I'm working on it.
Yes. And speaking of your voice, that is the question that she was bringing up that made me want to learn more about her, because she was asking about, like, how do you grow to have more confidence in your voice and trust your voice? Correct me if I have any of the details wrong.
No, exactly. I was just stumbling on my words. I'm like, hey, sister girl. You know, honestly, I'm being nosy. I'm just seeing how this works. No, but that's generally why I initiated the phone call. Like, I want to do that. I want to have my listeners call in, so I just wanted to see how it worked. Did I have a question in mind? Absolutely not, but that's something I would genuinely ask her in person. So, yeah, I definitely just, she uses her voice so well. Like, preaching, podcasting, like, she's just such an eloquent, articulate, well-spoken woman, and beyond, you know, her gifts and her blessings and, you know, all that she's taught us as an example, I really love listening to her. I love her voice. So yeah, that's where that question came from.
Same. I adore her so much. And since finding you, I adore you so much. Like, you have so much wisdom. So listen, you guys are just meeting her, but I've been talking to her for what, 2 hours now? And when I tell you, it feels like talking to a friend. Like, it is crazy. But I want to start off with just asking you to introduce yourself. I know that we talked a little bit, and we are kind of like nearing each other's transition. So I'm going from strictly psychology and therapy, being a therapist, to life coaching, and you are switching from life coaching to therapy. So tell us about that.
So, hey y'all, I'm Candice Chung. I'm from CT, but I live in Miami. This is my 7th city. third country. I'm born here, but I'm Jamaican Chinese. That's why my last name is Chung, for you guys that are wondering how she's so brown. And yes, I'm Jamaican Chinese. We exist. So I'm an Air Force vet. I was a medic in the Air Force. I'm a speaker. I'm a podcast host, like she mentioned. My podcast is called Keep It Candid. And I am just a health and wellness advocate. I've been a personal trainer, life coach, now transitioning into being a therapist. So yeah, I'm currently in school and I'm going into my graduate program next year. I've been in school so long. I am tired. And it's for real. I've been in school literally since I got out of secondary school. And it's just like, I'm 30 now. Like, I'm like
when is it gonna
grown
end?
age. It feels crazy, but it's just like, it is what it is. I'm getting it and it's gonna get done. So I'm a lover of the Spanish language. I'm a lover of travel. I just really love adventure. I'm also a very unfiltered type of person, and I'm working on that because my honesty can come off very brutal. But I believe in being very honest. I believe in cognitive sovereignty, trusting your own thoughts, developing your own thoughts. And all of it is due to just God preserving me and protecting me, because I'm telling y'all, I'm not supposed to be here. So, but I'm here.
Wait, we can't skip past that. You're not supposed to be here.
Man, due to my own doings, maybe, like, not even maybe, but me trying to unalive myself, me putting myself in predicaments that were not safe for me, being in situations that I wasn't supposed to be in because of other people. I have been protected and preserved through every single thing. So, and my heart didn't get sacrificed in the process. I still love the way that I love, and I know that I am a conduit of love, and I've never let anything that I've been through, for the most part, it's made me wiser, but I still love.
Yeah, that's such a loaded statement though, because one of the things I talk a lot about, and not just on YouTube and in the podcast, but even my life's work, is helping people who've gone through trauma, helping people who have chronic suicidality overcome that and also heal from it, and still recognize that they still have value, they still have a reason to be here, and they're even more important. Me personally, I feel like anytime you're going through such heavy mental attacks or mental health issues or concerns, that's just the devil trying to attack you for a reason, because he's threatened by you, he's afraid of you. And yes, there are things that we make decisions on, but I also feel like we grow and learn from them, and God continues to keep us and protect us for a reason. I'm wondering for you, because it's rare that people go through trying to unalive themselves, going through heartbreaks, going through tragedy, being in the military, which is not easy. It can be traumatic on its own. And you still preserve your heart. You still have such a love for people. Like, how is that? Like, how is that possible?
God, I don't know how it's possible. I genuinely have a passion for people, and I genuinely know that all that I've overcome, maybe, I've kind of chucked it, like, on a logical note, I have chucked it up to, there are so many souls that are connected to me being a certain being, whether you want to call it your higher self, whether you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, but there are souls tied to my devotion and my testimony. And the fact that I've come out of things, I'm not supposed to be in my right mind. I'm not supposed to be having all my limbs and all my senses. The things that I've done to myself, or positions that I've put in, or positions that people have put me in, were to mutilate me, whether it was my mind, whether it was my physical, or whether it was my spiritual. And for some reason, God turned it out for my good.
He turned it out for you good.
I have nothing bad to say about anything that I've been through, because it made me who I am, and I quite literally see how Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans that I have for you, really worked out, because this is beyond what I ever could have thought for myself. Like, God always knows better, 100%.
He does. So for the person who's listening to you right now, and they're like, I don't see how I can make it out of this situation. I don't see how it could be better. I'm too far gone. I'm too unworthy. I'm too broken. This is a statement I've said, so I'm not going to put this on anyone. I'm too trashy. I'm too disgusting. I can't see what you're telling me, Candice. What am I supposed to do? I don't have no help. I don't have a support system. How do I get myself out of that mindset?
One, you need to realize and test that you don't know what you're capable of until you have no choice. And you will find out what you're capable of when you realize you have no choice. Because it quite literally is die or fight. Like, life is a fighting process, and I know so many of us are tired, so many of us are exhausted, but it's literally that or die. And I know that dying sounds like the easier option because everything just fades away. But when you think about life as only as yours, and it's only yours, and it's about me, and it's this is what I'm supposed to be doing, this is what I was supposed to have, this is what I was supposed to be doing, maybe what you've gone through, I know actually what you've gone through is also for someone else. It wasn't just for you. And I know it may not seem that way in this moment. It feels like torture. It feels like struggle. It feels like you are being punished when you only think about it as yours though. And a lot of the time, I think we take God's job from God. I think we put burdens on our back that are not ours. And we say that we're going to lean on our own understanding and we're going to lean on our own strength. And I'm going to get myself out of this. And maybe I can have to get broken down to the cracks and crevices of the earth so you could surrender, because you wouldn't have did that in your own strength.
Oh, you just said something there. Because we don't like talking about that. We don't like talking about the fact that sometimes God is like, okay, I'm gonna let you do you. Because you wanna see and find out for yourself.
God's not a dictator. It's called free will, and that's why love is so beautiful.
Free will, and it's not love.
Exactly.
It's not love if it's forced.
Exactly.
And I think people forget that.
100%.
You mentioned in the question that drew me to you about wanting your voice to impact people and knowing that God has given you your voice for a reason. When you think about the people that you're still here for, there's a reason you're still alive. There's a reason that you have become who you are. There's a reason you have Keep It Candid podcast. Who are those people that you feel like you're here for?
I am here for the people that don't understand their purpose. I didn't know my purpose for the longest time. I used to be so envious of my friends that were photographers and they knew that they always had a passion for that, or that are artists, or especially my musician friends. Like, you know, people in music are so passionate. That is their whole life. They will give up their whole life for that. And that devotion and dedication and discipline, I've always admired, but I didn't know how to find it in myself. When I was 15, when I was 17, I think I just arrived here. I know I just arrived here. I would say I came to it in 2022 when I moved to Mexico, but I am here for the people that are curious about their purpose. They know that they have an inkling that they are chosen. They know things don't work out for them the way it works out for everybody else. They know that, you know, sometimes they stand there and people tell them things, or, you know, situations that people are like, how did that work out for you? Because of God. So I'm here for the person that wants to know their purpose and in turn is willing to say, yo, I'm willing to leave everything else because I am so sick and tired of myself. I'm so sick and tired of these things. And to look towards what the possibility, it has to be better. Anything has to be better than here.
Yeah.
That is the quote. People that are saying, yo, anything has to be better than this, and I'm willing to take the risk, that's who I am speaking to. That's who I'm willing to serve. That's who I know is in alignment with me, because that's what I did. And I speak to like my 15-year-old self that was rebellious. I've been on my own since I was basically 15. My mom kicked me out when she was 15, or I was 15. I'm sorry. And I learned about skin, about hair, about sex, about basically everything. I taught myself everything. And when the world teaches you something, it's very hard to filter out what is true to you. Yep. But I've always had an inkling to say, no, I need to figure out what works for me. I need to figure out why I believe in the things that I just always have asked questions. In the military, I was the why person. I didn't get promotions. I had leadership that didn't like me because I'm always going to ask why.
I was going to say, how did that go?
I've always asked why. I've always gotten in trouble for talking. I've always said what is at the forefront of my brain. And a lot of us get in trouble. But in this era where there's so many borrowed thoughts and there's so much mimicking and there's so much like wanting to be someone else, I'm for the person that wants to get deeper with themselves and say, who am I and why am I here? But will surrender to the how and the when.
Yeah, that word surrender.
That
word surrender. Like it really requires you to sacrifice.
Hello. Because if you don't let God drive, it's like trying to drive a plane. You are not equipped, friend. Like some of us haven't gone through the schooling and all the things. So let the motherfucker who's supposed to drive and shut up and trust. That's it. That's all.
Like just take several seats and trust the pilot.
Take several seats.
So you've alluded to like being on your own at 15 and having to teach yourself a lot. Take us back to the mindset you were in at that time. Like who was Candice Chung before Keep It Candid?
So Candice Chung wasn't even Candice Chung. I was Candice Henry. So I wasn't born with this last name. This is my mom's last name, but I was born Candice Henry, which is my father's last name. So Candice Chung was Candice Henry, and she was just entering into public school. I went to Catholic school the majority of my life. And I was just trying to do me and figure out what that even meant. I was figuring out my style. I was figuring out faith. So when my mom kicked me out when I was 15, I ended up moving in with my madrina, my godmother. And I have been so blessed to have 3 godmothers. Let me explain that because people are like, what does that mean? So Mama Ana, that's my heart. That is the mother. Papi, her husband, that's my godfather. And then she has 2 daughters who are also my godmothers. So that's how I have 3 of them, and then I have 1 godfather. And at that age, I have never, I don't want to get emotional, but I always get emotional. I know unconditional love because of these people that are not even my blood. I always say they found me, and my therapist has been like, it's so interesting your verbiage, but I genuinely feel like they found me. My parents were their neighbors, and they were like, look at this cute Asian lady and this big ass black man, and y'all made a brown baby. That's so cute. And I was like, not a people person at all. Like I would scream like someone was killing me if you even looked at me. Mama Anna's youngest daughter, Inez, she found me when I was 16. She was the only person that I never cried around. Like I just went to her. And
never
did not like, and my mom was like, yeah, you can be her babysitter because we need help. And 30 years later, they're still in my life. They found me when I was 6 months.
If you feel comfortable to share, what led your mom to put you out at 15?
I was smoking a lot of weed. And she didn't like it.
Strict mom.
And I was just bad, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was bad. So my mom, typical Jamaican, gonna have like a million jobs, but she was just never home, you know? And she worked like that middle 2 to 11 type shift. So I'll get out of school. I'm in school from 9 to 2 or whatever. And then I get out of school and I'm just alone the whole day. So of course I got into trouble. I was just trying to find my way. Getting into stuff that I wasn't
like most teens.
Hello. So, I was smoking a lot. I was inviting boys over. I wasn't having sex or anything. I didn't have my first kiss until I was 17. So it was just more so they were eating up all the food in the house type of thing. And she was aggravated by that because she spent her good hard-earned money, and that's not what she, like delegated it for. But it was really just a rebellion note. Like, she didn't understand what I was going to be, and she felt like tough love was going to help me to act right. But I'm very much a person that, like, I don't stay where I'm not wanted. So you tell me to leave, I'm gone.
You're out.
And I left, and my
in a Jamaican household. Peace. Get out.
Yeah, like, can't bother with me. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't give a fuck. So I left. I guess she thought that, you know, putting me out to the streets was gonna be like, oh, she's gonna come back. No. Mommy, you waste a wise gal. You had to know that I was gonna figure it out. So I went to my madrina's house, and they were like, hell yeah, cleared out a room for me. And that's where I was for the whole of, you know, high school.
So why the switch from Henry to Chung?
So I, again, with like identity, it's always been an identity thing with me. I've never been black enough to be with African Americans. My patois is very Yankee, so it's like I've never been Jamaican enough to be with the Jamaicans. I don't observe to be Chinese at all. I was just trying to figure out where I didn't speak Spanish at the time. So I was just always trying to figure out, like, where do I fit? Where do I belong?
Yeah.
And I think at that time, I had convinced myself to recreate my identity through my name. And I didn't, like, you know, honestly, if it was up to me, if I would have known, I probably would have changed my whole name. Like, I wouldn't even be Candice. Because that's where, like, the Candino thing came from. I just think that I didn't want to be what I was named. I wanted to give myself a name. I wanted to be called something else. Like, and that comes down to, like, an identity thing, right? Because Candice, now that I understand what it means, it means a pure being. It means mother-like. It means, like, an innocence to me, which is very me. I ain't saying that I'm, like, an angel or anything, but you know what I'm saying.
I mean, you've been an angel today.
So I believe that at the time I was trying to prove a point that not only am I biracial, but I was going to create a whole new identity, and I was going to kill off Candice Henry, which I did. And I was going to be this new person. And Candice Chung, like, you know, I changed it when I was going into the military. I knew it was going to be stamped on my uniform. I knew I was going to get awards. So I was like, I want to see Chung on those awards. And I knew it would make me stand out, because when you see a brown girl named Chung, it was like, the first question is always, oh, you're married? No.
Yep.
Oh, you're adopted? No. So it made me interesting as well. And I knew that. So all of those kind of did play a part.
And I love that that's how you changed something that was not pleasant. It didn't feel like it was you. It didn't feel like you had the power or control over it, and you changed it into something that was your choice. And you created even like the whole Candino was something that you came up with, your nickname that you created. And it's really speaking to taking back power. I love that.
Like white on rice, let me tell you, because as soon as I walked into school, everybody like, Candino! I'm like, yo, gang. I be outside with my gang. That was lit. I was that excited.
Gosh.
I was like, yo, I like it, they like it, it's lit. That's what I was looking for, belonging. There's people in high school that probably don't even know my real name. They just know me as Candino.
They're really and truly. And I think also it's so catchy. And it's just like, it sounds like a fun name. It just sounds like this person's fun. And that's 2 E's, 2 O's for the people who don't know.
2 E's, 2 O's. Get it right, get it tight. Okay?
Put respect on it.
Candino is that's like, you know, everybody got their little alter ego at this point. That's kind of like when I tap into her, it's like, what's up? What we saying?
Let's square up.
Yeah, I got it. No, she's not as aggressive, but I've realized that she is the free spirit that everyone refers to with me. Everybody's like, oh, you're such a free spirit. You know, I've lived in 3 countries. This is my 7th city. People are like, oh, you always make friends. And I'm like, that's Dino. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's because Candice was screaming as a baby. She did not like people. She did, like, so that's what, sometimes you literally, I know we hear it all the time, you have to create another identity for yourself, and you have to name it. Yeah. And that's what I did at, you know, such a young age. I didn't know that I was doing it, but that's what I did.
Yeah, and it's also a way to kind of preserve yourself. Like, us as humans, we're just trying to survive. We're trying to make it the next day, and we want belonging, which is a huge point that you bring up. And I wanna get to so many different points that you just brought up, because you brought up being in different countries and states, and I'm curious about how that impacted or shaped your identity. But before we get to that, I want to acknowledge your auntie. Your godmother. It was godmother. So, your godmother, what was her relationship again?
So I have 3 godmothers.
Right.
2 of them
And
are
2 are a
parents,
daughter.
2 are the daughter, yeah.
Okay. With them kind of being a support system for you.
100%. That's my backbone.
And I remember in one of your episodes, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember watching an episode with you, and you were talking about, you were like on the patio, and you were kind of talking about how people are constantly forcing people to become moms, and everyone, like women should have kids, and rushing into marriage just for kids. And something that you said stood out to me is the fact that you can be a mom without having and birthing children. And I'm wondering the connection between the fact that you had these 3 mother-like figures that were like nurturing you and kind of helping you. Is there any connection for you when you said that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because gosh, if they see this, my main godmother, and I'm not trying to like make, so my godmother that found me when she was 16. When I was 6 months old, she was 16. That was the one that when she addressed me, I didn't have any type of reaction. I guess I folded for her. And that's how this relationship started. Her name is Inez. And Inez and Melly, her older sister, they do not have children. Mama Anna, obviously those are her children. And I have found, like now looking out of it, 30 years later, they have mothered multiple children after me. I was not the only one. And the fact that these people, when I tell y'all, like, they are not my blood, they don't owe me nothing. It wasn't like my mom named them as I name everybody. I named them my godparents. I call, like, Anna, the mother, I named her Mama Anna. That was my Mama Ana. Her husband, Papi, that's dad in Spanish. That's my dad. Like, that's really like my dad. So, I'm blessed with 2 dads as well. But them being an example of unconditional love, I know unconditional love because of them. And my mother is a beautiful person. She did the best that she could with what she had, with the EQ, the emotional quality that she was offered, and the work that she's done. She really did her best, and so did my dad. But these people, I know faith, I know unconditional love, I know that honestly, Inez birthing me would not, and we talk about it all the time, because I've gone through this, like, when me and my mom weren't really getting along, should I say it? I'm gonna say it, it's the truth. When me and my mom weren't really getting along and we would fight, she would say, those people are not your family, they don't owe you nothing, because she knew my relationship with them. And she was trying to threaten the relationship. So it made me insecure about the relationship. So I would talk to Inez about it, and I'd be like, are you gonna leave me type of thing? And she's like, honestly, me birthing you would not make us any closer. Like, you are part of me. So that is just the relationship that we have, and that's how for those that are chosen, for those of you that are wondering, like, I feel different, things don't work out for me the same, I know I'm called to more, there is evidence in your life somewhere. That is my first form of evidence, that God has a special calling on me, and that He made sure that certain things were implemented in my life so I could be who I am, because without them, I am almost confident I would be a very wicked and cold person. I know everything good about this world because of those people.
Wow.
100%. Like, I have a whole back tattoo, like my whole back is tatted. And I say they're my backbone because when, me being crazy or whatever, I was like, I'm gonna get the biggest tat that I could think of to piss off my mom. So when I was 16, I found a henna tattoo or a henna design that I turned into a tattoo design, and I got flowers on my spine, and it's each one of their, or what I thought was their favorite flowers, like flowers I've heard them talk about, whatever. So the bottom is a sunflower for my mom. That is her favorite flower. The rose is for Inez. I got a marigold and then a lily. And I've added to it, and there's like other symbolism and things. But that's my backbone. Like, they have not, I could literally, thank God I'm not a wicked person. I could kill somebody and they still be like, hell no. Like, what do you, like, they just believe in me so much. I've never had to be something that I'm not. I've never had to convince them of anything. Like, honestly, I can go on for days about them, but that's my heart, and I know goodness, and I have faith in God. I know God because of that.
I hope they do see this. Because that's the biggest compliment you could ever, like, I don't think enough people realize the impact they could have on someone without being blood related. Like, it's just showing up.
100% my guardian angel. Like, I have, you know, there's people, well, I'm gonna tell your audience, I don't know how they're gonna feel about this. There are people walking this earth that are not just human beings. They take human form, but they are not human beings.
True.
These people are guardian angels in human in meat suits. Like, they are, and you will meet people when there's goodness inside of you. You will meet people like that. I can't promise they're gonna stay in your life for 30 years. I've been blessed. I'm so grateful because I could call them up right now, and it's not like, you know, people don't even talk to their godparents. But I'm really aware that they are spiritual beings in human meat suits, and they just carry such a goodness, and it's not just reserved to me, y'all. Like, there's multiple children that they have given this love to. I don't know if everybody's taking it the way that I've taken it, but I know for sure that, like, I don't take it lightly at all.
Yeah. And it's so true. The Bible says we entertain angels unaware. Like, if you really think that there isn't more happening beyond what you physically see your natural eyes on this earth, loves. First off, I've been teaching y'all wrong. Y'all haven't been listening close enough. But it's so valuable, and it's also even like picking up on what you said. You don't know if the other people have received it from your Anna and your godmothers, and also even your godfather, because a father figure is also important. Because we can get in the room, we can have the people available to us, but if we are too hardened, if we're too bitter, if we're too rebellious, if we're too hateful to receive it, then we do end up being that wicked person. We miss out on our blessings, and I feel like a lot of people miss out on their blessing because they've allowed their disappointments, their trauma, and their hurt to harden them so much that they can't receive love anymore.
Very true. I mean, natural defense mechanism, of course.
Yeah.
But you gotta really, what has happened to you is not your fault. I would say that. I mean, maybe some of it's your fault. I don't know. Let's be accountable here. You know, we've grown in that. But what has happened to you in your childhood? What happened to you before you could advocate for yourself? I will say there's a good chance that it wasn't your fault. But it is now your decision to decide to not let that dictate who you're gonna be. And I think I've always had that in mind. Like, I don't want to be who hurt me. I don't want to live from this wound. And I just want to be better. I've always just wanted to be better.
Would you say that drive to not want to live from the womb and wanting to live to your full potential is kind of what led you to travel so much, or do you just like traveling? Because you mentioned seven states, 10,000 countries. You were all over the place.
Nah, for sure. No. Don't drag it. Don't drag it. No, so when I got out of the military, I was very discombobulated is the word I have for it. Like, and I'm gonna give it to you brief, and you can decide what you want to pick at. But in 2020, as for many of us, pivotal moment in life, I went into rehab for 30 days. I didn't even know what a COVID pandemic was. I went in March 1st of 2020. That's when all the announcements in DC was happening. When I got out, I was like, oh, whoa, what is that?
What is going on?
Yeah. So I went into rehab in March of 2020. I had just gotten divorced the year before. 6 months after I got divorced, I had gotten sexually assaulted. Then I was basically found not well enough to continue my service in the military, so I was getting medically retired. So when I got out of the military in 2021 of April, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know, I thought I was going to do the righteous thing that everybody said. You get a house with your VA loan and you go to school and then you get a good job. I was getting denied for house after house after house. And honestly, I didn't really want the house. Like, it just felt like, I have this tool, I have this resource, like, it just makes sense to do it. And a homegirl of mine, I started boxing in 2021 as well. And the community that I found, it really helped keep me alive, because I was on a lot of medications. I was like a zombie. Like, I really wasn't functioning. I was just like surviving. I wasn't thriving. I wasn't living. Like, I was just going through my autopilot days, but I couldn't autopilot myself anymore because I was literally stepping into a new life. I wasn't just going to work and putting on a uniform. So in that community, I had a friend that she was like, you don't want this. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And she brought up, didn't you say you wanted to move overseas? Because that's something I never got to do while I was in the military. I was just stationed in the DMV my whole career. I didn't get to go anywhere. So she was like, don't you want to live overseas? And I was like, yeah, but like, nah, like how, like, I had this, my own understanding, like, yo, I'm gonna do that when I'm making 20K a month, 50K a month, like I'm gonna live this life, blah, blah, blah. Like, it looked differently to me. And she was like, nah, she was a sign language interpreter. And she had a homegirl in Mexico that was also a sign language interpreter because everybody was working remotely. So this girl just up and moved to Mexico and was like acting like she was operating from the DMV. So I talked to her friend that was in Mexico and I said, listen, I have this much. What can I do with this? Where can I live? Like, because my thing was like money. Like, I was like, if money is not an issue, I will go. Right. And she was like, girl, that's more than enough. So my lease was ending and I was like, I'm gone. I packed up my stuff, I put it in storage, and I moved to Mexico. And I lived in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico for 6 months. And that is exactly where I needed to be for my heart to open back up, because I was very closed, I was very jaded, I was very guarded, I didn't know who I was, I didn't know what I was doing, like I was just crying every day, smoking every day. Like, honestly, I couldn't even tell you about Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, because I stayed in my yacht. Like, I was just in the crib getting hot, to be honest, on my rooftop. I had a beautiful penthouse, and I was just chilling. I ended up finding who was still one of my best friends to this day. We have a 25-year difference, age difference, and it's like a sister, mother-daughter type of relationship. Yeah. But because of her, I got to meet some people in Vallarta. She was the only one I liked. Like, I'm stiff on people if I don't fuck with them for real. Like, I'm not, life is too short. I don't like you. Right. Live in your world. I'm gonna live in mine. I'm not gonna be rude to you, but like, I don't need to like kiki. I don't laugh at jokes that ain't. We don't have to be besties. I don't need to be besties. Yeah, like I don't need to do that. So, I didn't really get along with anybody else but her. She had like a project that basically didn't work out. It was like a whole thing. She was like, girl, we gotta leave. And I was like, I just got here. And she's like, girl, you've been talking about Colombia since you moved here. I didn't know nothing about one thing for sure. I'm gonna tell y'all. I never been to Mexico and I never been to Colombia before I moved there. Ever. I never been to nobody's Cabo, Cancun, Tulum, nothing. Just up and went. So I think it was like the day after Christmas, around there, she, we were making this plan, we were trying to figure, she had just ran through her retirement savings for this project, like all this stuff. I was like, girl, I'm not staying in Mexico. Like, it does not favor the brown girls. She's white, she's Caucasian. And she was like, you've been talking about Colombia, like, let's move to Colombia. And this was before Colombia, like Medellin was like a thing. So again, by the grace of God, because I have no idea how I ended up in this place. We up and went to Mexico City for 2 weeks, did New Year's in Mexico City, and then moved to Colombia. We spent 3 months in Colombia living together, and then I fell in love with it, and she just wasn't feeling it. She went back to Mexico, and I stayed. So, yeah.
So no support system.
Yeah, I mean, what is support, really? If God is for me, who can be against me? But
I don't think people realize how much it takes out of you to up and move to a place that you've never even visited. That you
I
never
don't know how much it takes out of. I'm like, who was that? Who was that girl? I'm so baffled. I'm perplexed every single time. I'm not even gonna lie. And this is a true example of surrender. I'm not dragging it, y'all. Like, it's really a true testimony of not only courage but obedience, because it made no sense to anybody else. It didn't even make sense to me, but it made sense. I didn't have this knowing, but I had this knowing, and that was enough for me, because it just really didn't make sense. I'd never been to Mexico. The first week in Mexico, I almost died. Like, I had pneumonia. I didn't speak Spanish. I didn't know how to call a doctor. I didn't eat for 3 days. Like, my mom was like, yo, you got to get on a plane. I'm like, how? If I die, I'm going to die in Mexico. Like, my lungs felt like I was drowning in my mucus. Like, I was really struggling. And
First week there.
It was like 2 days after my birthday, too. I think it was like my 20s.
Hold on. So,
Candy, no.
Yo.
Most people, because I know somebody watching this saying, if I move to another country, in the first week there, I get sick on my deathbed, basically, that's God telling me to go back.
No. That's God saying if you really want what you said you wanted.
Ooh. How do they discern?
You don't know what you're capable of until you have no choice. If you feel like me turning back, you can always go back, right? Like, I knew that. You can always go back. But if you turning back is going to withhold you from this path and this person that you've already envisioned, you're being tested. Because honestly, I'd be on some, like, if I die in Mexico, like, whatever, legendary, like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be a young legend any day. So that's my attitude. I ain't gonna lie, that's my attitude. Because it's like, what? Like, go back to the States to do what? Like, for what?
That part.
But that's
what am I coming back to?
What am I coming back to? For convenience, everything I know.
You're offending some people now. You're offending some people. You're calling some people out.
Only hit dogs holler, so you know what I'm saying. No, but really, my mom actually said that to me when I was sick, because she was like, bro, you're gonna die there. And I was like, I literally said what I said to you guys, like, if I die in Mexico. But she was like, maybe you're not supposed to be there. And I was like, or maybe I'm supposed to be here so bad that there is something pressing me to look at everything we just went through for this damn episode.
Exactly.
That's why I press through and I persevere, because I know if I'm trying to do something good for myself, I'm not harming anyone, I'm not harming myself, I'm not being wicked or evil to anyone. Why would there be an interruption? There's only an interruption because there's something better on the other side.
Absolutely.
And that shows the difference of who is really built for it and who's not.
Absolutely.
That's how you sort out the weak from the strong. And you know, I'm not saying, like, actually I am saying you gotta find a cause to die behind. We all gonna die. You gotta find something to stand behind and really, I was willing to die for it.
Yeah. And a lot of people are missing that. And I feel like that's why so much of our generation is just wandering aimlessly, because they settle, because you could have easily just settled with, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do after the military. This is the next step. Let me just figure out how to make this work. But you knew something deeper inside of you was calling out for more. I think about, I think it's the...
People knew as well, to be honest. Even if it's just one or two persons that were saying to me, Chung, what are you doing here?
Like, why?
You don't listen, first of all. Second of all, I feel like you want to do more. What's bigger than the United States military, honestly? But people were telling me, yo, I feel like you are called to more. And I'm like, man, if a captain, a major, a contractor is saying that to me, and these people got years on me. They've already done their time. They see something in me that I couldn't even see in myself yet.
They can see it. And how many people they've been told, like, entertaining angels unaware, they're like, you got something in you. You're gifted in this, and they just go along with the, well, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is the next step I'm supposed to take. This is a safe route. This feels familiar and comfortable.
I had quit every single thing in my life before I joined the military. That's why I joined the military as well. First of all, I had to get up out the hood. I'm from the hood, y'all. Like, I am from Waterbury, Connecticut.
From the hood?
People don't know nothing about nobody's Connecticut, but besides UConn, there's other things there. And I am from Waterbury, Connecticut. And Waterbury, Connecticut don't got much. Like, there's nothing. And it's definitely not what it used to be. We used to be able to have house parties and nobody got shot. There wasn't no fights. Oh, walk around the street, this vibe. You can't even do that now. You can't even walk around the mall without there being something crazy happening. I needed to get up out the hood because I was like, the life that I know that I'm called to, I don't feel like I can accomplish it here. And I joined the military with the thought, like, I cannot quit this shit. Like, there's no way, like, it's really death row out here. Like,
You're locked in.
I'm locked in. And that was my first step to provide myself evidence that I could move out of faith and not fear. And I would say that to the person that, you know, they think they should, this is what they're supposed to do. A lot of that verbiage is out of fear and not faith. And you have to ask yourself, what am I making a decision out of? What place am I coming from when I'm deciding, like, is it people pleasing? Is it fear? Is it insecurity? Is it if it's a low vibrational feeling, it's more than likely something that you're already acclimated to. It feels familiar. And and you feel resistance towards it, you know, it's like, I don't want to do this, but it makes the most sense.
Right.
I don't care what makes sense anymore. It don't gotta make sense to you.
You have to get to that point where you're willing to take the risk. Because as I'm hearing your story, there were so many times where you made the decision, or you were at least encouraged to take the risk, instead of saying like, "Oh, I'm just gonna stay here," because maybe this is controversial, but I feel like that's also dying. When you choose to just do what people are telling you should do, when you choose to not take the risk and count and bet on yourself, is that not also a type of death?
Yes, I 100% agree. And to add to that, I think people think that this apocalypse or whatever, end of the world things, whatever is happening, people think it's zombies and whatever else. No, babe. It's here. They're trying to paralyze you here.
Yes.
They are trying to get you here. And that's why cognitive sovereignty is so important. Because not only do you need to maintain autonomy over your thoughts, you also need to have a knowing, which for me is like my spiritual knowing and exercising my faith, that you got to be asking yourself the right questions. And at the time, I wasn't asking myself the right questions because I didn't know. But me joining the military was out of faith. One thing that's really beautiful, I'm going to show y'all because I'm not even playing. I'm so serious. Hold on.
This is a show and tell. This is a special treat.
To know, because I have documented my journey since 2015. And I asked God, before I joined the military, I said, I don't know what I'm doing, and I am so scared, and I don't even know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But if it's for me, make sure I get through this thing, because mind you, I'm smoking. I'm even telling the recruit, the military denied me twice. They didn't want me. They didn't want me, one, because I had been diagnosed with asthma as a child. And then two, my recruiter was like, you're not even going to survive because you're not going to pass the drug test. Because I smoked up until the day that I left. So I even could have got kicked out in basic. I didn't care. I was like, whatever. But I asked God, I said, yo, if it's for me, you have to make a way because I'm messing up.
Them prayers work.
I don't know how to do better. I didn't know how to cope in a healthy way. I didn't know where to go. Like, I was just trying to get answers. And here we are. I got through.
You said that you learned. First off, I love those books. And I'm going to steal that idea.
Absolutely. 2015 to 2020, 2021 to 2022, so I was writing away. And then I got another one. I stopped while I was traveling because I lost some stuff, travels or whatever. And then I just bought a new one from Barnes and Nobles to document like this year. So I'm doing my best, but I got a little something.
Love that. And I feel like if people did that more, they would also see their growth and wouldn't beat themselves up so much. And they're like, oh, I'm still, no, actually, you've done a lot over the last 5 years, but you haven't seen it because you're not documenting it. You're not tracking your progress. But you said something very key. You said you decided to start asking yourself the right questions. What are some of those questions that people should be asking themselves if they're finding themselves in those same shoes? Like, they don't know where to move forward, they don't know what decisions to make, imposter syndrome, anxiety, confusion, they don't know who they are.
Who do I want to be? For one, is, I think it's a question that we hear often. And let me even rephrase it. Who do I know that I am, but the world has told me that I couldn't, shouldn't, or won't? Because I really genuinely believe that we all know. We're just letting so much outside noise get to us and letting the world tell us what it should be. So who are you? Who were you before the world told you who you should, would, or won't be? That's for one. I would also ask your maker, because when something is wrong with the machine, you go to the manufacturer's book. So open up your Bible, start asking God questions. And really be prepared. When you ask questions, you need to be prepared for the answer. God, people, whatever the case may be, whether you like it or not, you need to show reverence to that answer, especially if it resonates. Because every time God has told me no, it was a good warranted no. And even when God gave me exactly what I asked for, I'd be like, damn, big dog, I ain't even really want this for real.
You ain't realize what you was asking for.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's like, oh wait.
I would definitely start there and ask for the courage to be who you feel called to be. Because it takes courage, it takes obedience, it takes honesty, it takes transparency, it takes patience. And you really, really gotta be okay when things don't go your way. And you gotta trust and surrender that it will work out for your good. Because God does have a plan for you and he will work it out for your good.
Absolutely. I think that if someone would just write those questions down, they would see a complete change in their life in the rest of this year. We're 4 months in, we have a lot more time to go. You lock in on those questions and really sit with yourself, shut out the noise. I think what I like about travel, especially solo traveling, is you get to get away from what you're used to and familiar with. You have to sit with your own thoughts. When you unplug from the phone and the internet, you really have to sit with yourself. And I think that is what our society is lacking right now. And I've loved that as I've watched some of your content, as I've watched a lot of your episodes, you always go deeper than the surface. You're constantly challenging people to ask these deeper questions. And you ask deep questions to your guests that you have on your podcast. My curiosity is now leaning to, okay, I hear you, Candice. I hear you, Candino. I'm going to ask myself these questions. I am going to take the risk. I'm going to remember to go back to God. I'm going to look in the Bible, all that. I got you. But there's just one thing. I don't have the finances to do it. I don't know where to start. I don't have a plan. Like, what should I do?
So for one, it's very interesting that you say that I go beyond the surface, because Keep It Candid was called ICU, ISEEU, and the slogan was going beyond the surface, because it was like a play on like the ICU, because I come from a medical background.
Yes.
So like, you know, that play, but it was like, I always tell people, like, you might as well be honest with me because I see through it regardless.
Wow.
You can't lie to a woman that talks to God. And it's like, I've never played that, so I always say that I'm going beyond the surface. Like, you got to swim to meet me, baby, because I'm at the deep end. Like,
If you ain't ready, you might as well stay on the shore.
if you ain't ready, you know what I'm saying? You take your lessons, you prepare yourself, and, you know, I'll be over here. But I'm sorry, I had to get that off real quick because I found that so interesting that you said that. But can you repeat the question for me?
Yeah, like I'm curious of what are some practical steps that people could take if they're like, I'm asking myself these questions to go deeper in introspection. I'm praying and I'm asking God, but I don't have the finances. I'm stuck at this job. I can't just up and leave this job. I'm willing to take the risk, but how am I going to fund my future? How am I going to do what you did?
Well, for one, I always say that God starts where you end. You need to expend out every single option. I do everything that I can possibly think of. And that doesn't mean doing multiple things. You, like, when it comes to like finances, you're paying off the credit card, you're trying to kill off the debt, you're trying to save, you're trying to do $1 million. You have to devote to one thing so you can watch yourself see it through. The only way is through. There's no getting over things. Sometimes there's no getting around it. There's no getting under it. The only way is through. So you decide what you're going to devote to that would make your situation better. And that doesn't always take financial. That could be, you know, starting a savings account that is $1,000 if you've never saved $1,000, or maybe $10,000, whatever. If you're able to do that, then do so. It could just be taking better care of yourself. Taking a bath. If you have a bath, our grandmothers took baths, y'all. Don't take the essence or, you know, the beauty of a bath away. To be able to sit in warm water, make it ceremonial, put some flowers, some candles, even showering in the dark calms your nervous system down. So setting a tone for yourself where you're showing reverence for your temple, you're giving yourself time and you're showing yourself that you're important, is rebellion in itself in a world that demands so much of you. That tells you shouldn't, you can't, you don't got time for that, you need to do this and that. You have to literally say, no, it doesn't have to be that way. The only way you're going to get to places that people haven't gone is by doing things that others haven't. And sometimes that is very soft and that is very subtle. That could be setting a bath once a week. It doesn't even got to be every day, because I know that's tedious. I'm like a germaphobe, like I be having to clean the shower and things, and like I live by myself, and I still be kind of extra like that, so I already know what that is. But whatever time reserved, like something that, especially when it comes to like mothers, I am not a mother. I can only imagine what it's like to have set time to work and then you devoting to either someone that's been in you or that came out of you. That's crazy. For mothers, y'all need to, like, and I know it's, you know, I've coached women where it's like, I just don't have the time. We all get 24 hours and you quite literally have to make it. And that can mean losing sleep, but just one devotion to yourself. And it does not have to be financial. It doesn't have, I know you go outside and you breathe, it costs $200. I live in Miami, baby. Like, I'm already knowing. And I'm a pretty girl. They say everything's supposed to be free, but it costs if it doesn't cost some paper, so I'm not willing to pay that fee. But I will say,
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know, and I don't put up that type of sacrifice. I will say that you have to see how you can expend all your options, all the ideas. I do brain dumps. So I'll take a blank piece of paper, I write down everything that's in my brain. It's not on every line. It could be a drawing, it could be whatever comes to my head, I let it fly, and then I evaluate what I've written down on that paper, because something that I've learned as an overthinker, majority of what I'm overthinking is the same thoughts over and over and over, and sometimes if you don't get that out of your brain, most of the time, I always say our brain is a circle. So what do you think those thoughts are doing? They're just circulating, like, you know, illustration-wise. Let's say that it's just circling around until you get it out and you actually look at what you're worried about, what you're stressing about. It's usually the same things over and over and over in a different situation or a different name of a person or the different man, whatever the case may be. You got to get those out your brain so you can make the plan for yourself and see what's realistic, because a lot of what holds people back from actually doing what they feel called to is that it just feels so grand, and it's like, how do I start? You start by taking, having the faith of a mustard seed and bite by bite. And I know that's very cliche, but when you make milestones that seem, oh my God, how could I ever? I don't have the money. What can you do right now? If you can't stop thinking about it, every time, I want to challenge you, whoever's listening, even you, Doc, like, if you are overthinking something, as soon as you realize you're overthinking about something, you need to go do something about what you're overthinking about. For me, when it comes to podcasting, I'm always thinking about podcasting. Oh, I want to talk to this person. Maybe it's just a little outreach, me DMing somebody that I haven't talked to, building up a relationship. Or if I'm overthinking, oh, I didn't work out in a month, and I need to go take a walk. Maybe I'm not going to the gym to go pick up some heavy shit and put it down, but I need to go move my body. I need to stretch. I'm doing something about what I'm thinking about. The smallest.
You up my alley. I don't know what I did. I thought we were friends. To deter you.
Listen. I'm just the vessel. I am just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger.
Love that you simplify it, because we do make things way too big. It's like, what can you do today? What can you do in the next 24 hours? What can you do in the next hour? And slowing it down. I'm absolutely...
I get overwhelmed by the vision. I think when you're a visionary and when you have a lot of plans and you know that you have so much in your mind and you're like, it could be this and I want it to be this, but you compare it to your current reality and you're just like, what is that gap? I always say, don't take God's job. Your job is not the how, and your job is not the when. Your job is the what and figuring out the why. And the why is your vision. The why is what you hold on to when your what looks crazy. What is like, you know what I'm saying? You hold on to that vision as you apply your baby steps, so you know what you're working towards and it doesn't feel like a dead end. Mm-hmm. That's what you should hold on to, that big vision for. Don't allow it to overwhelm you, because it's true. It can't. If it's I don't daydream about plastic surgery I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a pilot. I don't think about the sky. I don't have that vision for myself. But what I do see myself doing is speaking on stages, and public speaking is like one of the scariest things that you, like, a human can do. You know what I'm saying? But terrifying. It is what it is. Like, that's what I feel in my spirit, that I don't know. I'm seeing it. I don't know how. I don't even know when. I hope not tomorrow, because I'm not prepared. But,
tomorrow, Lord, if you answer my prayer, she needs to be on platforms tomorrow. The world needs to hear her tomorrow. Actually, what we talking about tomorrow? Big faith tonight. Can we make it happen tonight? Can we make it happen tonight?
Honestly, if it's in my proximity, I probably am more ready than I think I am. But you see, there's things that you may not feel like you're ready for, and if it's in your proximity, you're ready for it. And if anything, is practice. So it is what it is. Like, I don't want to make decisions out of fear anymore. I want to make decisions out of faith. And I constantly analyze, where am I coming from with this decision? Fear isn't like, oh, I'm so scared to do it. Fear can be, man, I'm trying to prove a point. I'm trying to shit on these people that were talking crazy about me. That's still fear.
Yep.
That's still you trying to prove that you trying to be something, because you have not figured out who you are. When you
get to the root.
When you know. Like, nobody, I mean, people, I've been on podcasts and people are like, oh, she looks like Jay-Z. Listen, I take it. I take it. There's only one Jay-Z, and Jay-Z made mad millionaires, let alone billionaires.
Say Jay-Z is wealthy.
So it's because of the lips and the head shape. But I've been called all types of stuff. But like, when you genuinely don't believe it, it doesn't trigger you. There are things that are said on the internet that when it triggers me, I'm like, oh, what is that? But it's because there's something in me that believes that. That's the only reason it bothers me.
So what you're saying is you go back inward and deal with yourself, as opposed to trying to chase down this person that says something about you.
I ain't gonna lie, I be arguing with the peasants. I ain't gonna lie, I do argue with them. Like, if I have time, I'm gonna argue. Yes, absolutely, because people be talking reckless and they think there's no consequences. People haven't been punched in their face often enough. That is the problem. Bring shame back, okay? But I understand that I can't always win, and that misery genuinely does love company, and I'm not here to, like, you know, sit beside you and go to war or whatever. I don't got time for that. If I feel like justifying myself, I will every once in a while, but I'm done coming from a place of, like, I need you to get it. I don't care.
I don't have time.
For those that get it, they get it. If you don't, you don't.
Yes. Oh man.
Whatever.
First off, I hope your haters hear this, so they can feel checked in their neck.
Listen, I need some more. I need 5 more by the summer. Like, we on timing. Cause you know what I'm saying? You gotta let haters do their job, and that's their job. So yeah.
Listen, because the more you hate, you're actually just helping my publicity campaign. That's what you're doing.
You don't know if you, excuse my vulgarity, but you don't know if you want to fuck me or fight me. That's really all that haters are. Like, you're just
it's the confusion.
Your love is confused.
It's the confusion.
Because why are you still here? Like, your love is just confused, babes, and it's okay.
And the
it's
fact
okay.
that you're spending more time. When, if you don't like me, why are you spending more of your time, the most expensive resource you have on me? Just confess your love. Just confess your love already. It'd be easier.
And honestly, I'm like accountable to a fault, because I never want to be that ignorant person that I always want to be better, you know? So if there's something that I could have done better in, like, I will 100% do my best to analyze said situation to see where I can improve. But sometimes I take so much accountability that the person that's not being accountable, if it has to do with somebody else, it's like, oh yeah, they're like, oh yeah, it was you. And I'm like, wait. I know I had part in this, but it was not all me. It takes 2. So, you know, I'm working on that part. Like, I am very, very accountable though. I definitely do my best to look inward. And I think that's from being, like, alone all the time. Like I said to y'all, like, I've been on my own since I was 15, or I was kicked out when I was 15, and I've just always been alone. Like, I was an only child the majority of my life as well.
I feel like you just freed somebody. Like, to just really step into that and to stop being distracted. Because honestly, all that stuff, all the noise, it's distraction. It's really just about us dealing with ourselves and staying focused on, like, what is it that you truly want. I feel like we could have went into so much more. I wish we had more time, because this has been one of the best conversations. This has been the best conversation I have had this year, and I'm so grateful. But if I could just steal one more thing from you, what would be the last few words of encouragement, accountability, or insight you would offer someone who is listening to this episode? What, at the end of the day, do you want them to take home with themselves and to actually apply?
So much to say. I don't even know if we can put it in a little pill. I would say that you have to get to a place where you realize that it's bigger than you. There are souls connected to you that are depending on you to be who God called you to be your highest self, to be the being that you know in your spirit that you are, when you let go of all the noise and the naysayers and the negativity. And you have to decide that you will not be who hurt you. You will not be, there's things, it's not just about what you've been through, it's about who you had to become to survive that thing. And most of the time, when we go through rough things, it turns us into a person we didn't intend on becoming. And you have to check that part of yourself. And I would encourage you to constantly check your heart, because out of your heart flows all of your life. your heart dictates your thoughts. What comes out of your thoughts is going to come out your mouth, and words are very powerful. So checking your heart posture is everything when it comes to people, when it comes to romantic relationships, when it comes to career positions. Checking your heart space and saying, where am I coming from with said decision? Because there are decisions in our, honestly, people don't like when I say this, but like, there are people that are better than other people. And what makes them better is their decisions. Decisions are portals. Decisions are storytellers. Decisions are pivots. And your decisions, where we are today, is because of the decisions we made 5 years ago, 10 years ago. That is why I am where I am and who I am today. So if you are wondering, how did I even get to this place? You need to look at your decisions and be accountable for the decisions that you made. They may have been out of survival. They may have been out of fear. They may have been out of mayhem. I understand that. But with that awareness, what are you going to do about it now? Because it's you and God. That's it. Like, even as a woman, like, a man can come in and maybe do something extra to help you, but he can't save you from yourself. And honestly, they tired of it too. Like, nobody wants full responsibility of a child in an adult meat suit.
Yes.
Like, you got to be accountable for yourself.
Yes.
And I really do believe that if you take the time, even though you may not feel like there's any time, to analyze and say to myself, yo, there's more of this is not being created. I get 24 hours. Finding a crack or crevice in your 24 hours, that might mean waking up earlier, that might mean staying up later, that might mean taking your lunch break to devote it to some, I don't know what that looks like for you, but that is for you to personalize and to figure out with your maker.
Yeah.
You just gotta start. And I talk to God the way I talk to y'all. Cussing and all. Crazy shit and all. Like, I'd be like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing, big dog. Like,
Talk to him real.
yeah, I need you to help me out, because God cannot help what you are hiding.
Yeah.
You have to be yourself. I just want to make being yourself sexy again. Like, you have to be yourself.
I used to say that a lot of times, I actually think I said this on a couple episodes ago. We keep praying like, oh, Father God, in heaven, all is well, and I am just grateful. All hell is breaking out in your house, in your relationship, in your home, in your health, and you gonna pretend that's not happening? So God's like, oh, okay, I don't know who this person is, because I'm answering the prayer you're praying. You're praying like everything's fine. You're praying these super fancy, eloquent words, and that ain't how you was talking 2 minutes ago, bro. Like,
And it's not about religion. It's about relationship.
it's
How would you build a relationship with another being? You would talk to them. You need to hear somebody's voice enough that when they're yelling in a crowd, you can distinctively recognize that voice. But the only way you're able to do that is by talking to that person frequently. And it works the same way with God. It can happen through a Bible. It can happen through a bird. It can happen through a baby. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I've received a message in an unexpected way, and you just got to open up yourself for that unexpectedness. And you got to be able to, like, I would also say a huge thing is that it all starts with curiosity. I was curious about what my life would be like if I got out of my city. I was curious what life would be like if I got out of the military. I was curious about Mexico. I've always wanted to be bilingual. I was curious what it would be to be a Spanish speaker. I was just always wondering and curious. But when the curiosity became overthinking, I realized I need to take action. You cannot think your way into becoming a chef. You gotta go and cook.
yeah, you gotta burn a few meals.
You gotta figure it out. So it's like, I know it's so hard for people to get between that wall of like, no, but I need to, especially when you're like a type A type of person, I think it is. Like, you wanna have everything planned out, the highlighters, the pens, the this and that. Sometimes, and I was that person, obviously, coming from the military. I did not like flexibility. I'm like, what do you mean flexibility? What do you mean you don't know what you're doing tomorrow? I used to get so mad at my friends that are in music because they'd be like, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
You don't have a plan?
you're not going to work. You're not going to go to the studio at a certain. No, they just didn't know. And now I understand it because I genuinely don't. Like, I know I'm going to class tomorrow, but that's about it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you have to have fluidity, and you have to allow yourself to, and that's the wonder of life, and that's the wonder of God. If everything was told to you, there would be no surprise and there would be no joy in that. So you have to let things unfold and unravel. There has to be uncertainty in order for there to be a sense of a surprise so you can be happy. Like, who wants to know what their man is planning all the time? It's like, yo, just do it. And let me find out. That's how God works too.
Surprise
Like,
me.
raise your hand as a bride. Listen. So just let God be the pilot. And can I give, okay, I feel this on my heart just real quick.
Go for it.
I give this analogy, and this is something that when I started my personal development journey, it really sat with me, and it helped me to also figure out not only how to like cancel out outside noise a bit, but like how to move around people. Because a lot of it for me was like, it's always people. Because I have a heart for people, the devil would send in some people that were my exact type or in my friend group and using those people to whisper lies to me, but I believe them because I'm like, oh, this person wants what's good for me or whatever. So I always say that life is like an airport. It's like booking a trip. You get into the airport and someone can bring you to the airport, but they can only go so far. Like, you know, they probably meet you at security because they didn't buy the ticket. Then there's people, when you get past security, there's different gates. Everyone's going to a different destination. You might find somebody that's going to the same destination. They meet you at that gate, but now they're going for a different reason. You're going for leisure. Maybe they're going for business. So the purpose of what you're going there is different. And even when you arrive there, when you leave, you are not coming back the same person as you got there. And you're going to come back with different stories. You're going to meet different people. You're going to have experiences that have opened you up, that when you get back to said airport, the same person that picked you up, they may be like, yo, you acting different. You sound different. Yes. And that's okay. And that's what's supposed to happen. They didn't pay that ticket. They didn't pay that fee. So they don't know what you just experienced and went through. Some people will take a bus. People travel different. I will want to take a plane. They might want to take a bus. That's cool. It's just going to take you a little bit longer to get there because of the way of the channel that you decided to transport yourself. But this is how I've decided it. Nonetheless, if I'm still there, I'll meet you there. But I also can't hold myself up to wait for you. If you got a delay, if you ran out of gas, if whatever the case may be. So that's how I've been able to cancel out noise, to see who's really like, who made the decisions that I made, who's on the same type of time and in alignment with me. And regardless, you can still do something with someone that's going from the same gate. You can still do something with someone that's on the bus, but you have to discern how to play that. So you don't hold yourself up. That hit? I love that. That's good. Sometimes I just be yapping and I'm like, I hope this makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense, but I hope it makes sense. Yeah? Hell yeah. That's how we like to end the podcast. Okay, so y'all listen. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, all the things. Candino, Candeennoo.
2 O's.
Keep It Candid podcast. What else? I got some digital products coming out, a journal. One more time?
Your Substack?
My Substack. Yes.
Substack.
I believe it's Candino as well.
Yeah.
I think it's Candino. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that. I appreciate that because I'm really trying to work on that. I love writing. And I want to do more in-person things. So if you ever find yourself in Miami and you want to just, I don't know, we could figure something out. If you got something substantial to say, if you're willing to make the sacrifices that I'm willing to make, something happen, I'm open to it. And if you got a story and you got, some valuable stuff to share, but I definitely want to do more stuff in person. I want to have gatherings in person. I really want to do like a podcast tour and yeah, that's really what my heart is calling me to. Like, I really want to gain community to a point where, you know, if I say I'm showing up to a city, like we ganging it and we yelling out gang
Gang, gang.
That's my song right now. I don't know why that is my song. Do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang gang. But yeah, so I really appreciate you having me. I appreciate talking with you, and I mean, we did it. It worked out. You know,
Listen.
You're going to see two different portions. We was rolling on the first one. Now we in this one. But I really hope that someone got something from this, 100%.
If they didn't get anything, they didn't listen. If they didn't get anything, their audio was off.
It's all right.
Candice, and I do not tell people things that I don't feel in my heart and in my spirit. Your voice has so much weight to it.
Wow.
What you have to say has so much weight to it. Everything that you said is, I know it's going to bless somebody. I know it's going to free people, because so many people are just in pain and they're like, what do I do? You done told them what to do, how to do it, how to make it happen, how to take care of themselves while doing it, and then gave them an extra boost of confidence and encouragement on the way. Like, this was phenomenal. I'm so grateful that you are the first person to even be on the podcast this year. Like, I feel like this is how we needed to set the tone. Like, so anybody else who wants to come on, she done set the bar really high. So, I just want to
make sure it makes sense, okay? Don't be out here talking out the side of your neck. We already got enough people on microphones that are trying to do that. Relax. Not too much.
Say it for the people in the back.
No, I'm really tired of y'all, for real. Like, shut the fuck up.
But anyway. It's wasting time. It's wasting time, though.
It's wasting time, and it's too many voices. It just adds to the noise. People don't know who to listen to, and I hope that, you know, I'm still working on my external credentials, but I hope you guys feel my internal structures and how I'm internally credentialed, because there are rankings spiritually, and there are people that, you know, they can feel when you're ranked spiritually, regardless of if you don't have letters at the end of your name or you don't have said degree or whatever the case may be. When you are ranked spiritually, it is known. And when you use wisdom and discernment to articulate what you're trying to share and help people, how you can help people be better for themselves, then it just does it. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get the credentials regardless, because I don't want nobody to say no stupid shit to me.
Honestly, I can vouch for that 100%, even with the credentials, because God literally told me that the decision to become a doctor was mine, not his. And it was his grace that allowed me to go through the program. But the credentials, they can't match what God is calling you to do. If he has appointed you, called you, and gifted you to do it, the credentials are for y'all. It's for y'all, because y'all not gonna listen unless y'all see credentials. Y'all are so mind washed and brainwashed.
They criticized and crucified a perfect man. They're gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Listen.
So I'm just trying to put up my preventative measures, because I know I'm gonna get the same ridicule. You know, you always, as a black woman, as whatever the case may be, whatever, a woman, whatever you want to call it, you're always gonna get backlash. There's always gonna be somebody to say, oh, she has sex with a man for it. Oh, she. Come on, baby.
It's always gonna be harder.
I'm gonna make sure that the foundation is what it's supposed to be. I've been granted the beautiful resource of, you know, school being paid for because of the military, so it's like, why not? Like, I just have to.
Hey, at that point, it's also like, why not?
Hello, I get paid to go to school, and school is paid for. Like, it just makes sense.
That's a no-brainer.
I know. Everyone tells me that. They're like, what? I'm like, I know. But I don't know if I'm going to go for my doctor. I ain't going to lie. So shout out to the doctor. Shout out to everybody that defended their thesis. Shout out to y'all, because I don't know if I'm going to do it. But I would love to be Dr. Chung, for sure.
Listen, it cost me my sanity for a couple years, but first off, I appreciate you being on this podcast, but I am in your corner. Whatever support, encouragement, whatever you need, whatever events you have, we'll just go ahead and cry in. We'll just let the tears out.
Oh, what's up? It's right here. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just like, this is beautiful. Okay, what were you saying?
It's just letting you know you have my support, girl. Like, you have my support as a fellow queen, as a fellow sister in Christ. Whatever the tour, degree, whatever you need help, if you just need a word of encouragement, whatever it is, you let me know. Please, guys, I'm going to have all of her information listed below. Go follow, go support. I'm not just saying go follow because she came on here. I would be saying, first off, I've reposted her before. So you should just go ahead and get educated, get blessed, be healed, be encouraged. And some of y'all need a little tough love. Because I be too gentle with y'all sometimes. And sometimes y'all need that act right.
Yeah, no. I'm going to come for your jugular for sure. I'm working on that, though. The honesty doesn't need to be so brutal, but I'm working on it. But no, I really appreciate, I really feel like this was an ordained type of situation because, man, like people don't look beyond anything, to be honest. Like you could have, the fact that you even paid attention to my words so much to be like, oh, like it's called Keep It Candid, because most people don't even do that. Like, oh, she didn't say her Instagram handle or anything like that. I wasn't trying to like, do that on her platform or like seem like I was trying to like,
it didn't come off that way.
Panhandle or something like that, But I really appreciate that you took the time to do some due diligence, and it means so much to me that you watched the episodes. That's so freaking cute to me. Thank you so much. And every subscription means so much. So
it does.
I will come back whenever you want me to. We will.
Don't tempt me. I say, held up. Let's run this back next week.
We'll figure it out. We're gonna make sure that everything is settled, though.
I was about to say, I need a new laptop at this point, because I don't trust none of the devices. I don't trust none of it.
I love y'all.
Thank you so much.
Hey, loves. If this episode made you feel encouraged, inspired, healed, or challenged to be better in any type of way, go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. And if you want to learn more and grow more, check out this playlist or watch this video. Okay? Love you.